Now I've been smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. I be smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. You be smoking, she be smoking, he be smoking all day. Blowing kush, it ain't face from overseas to the USA. I got that blueberry, raspberry, and we keep that juicy fruit. If you want that 5-hour level,
let's get this going. And 3, 2, 1, action. What's up, everybody? It's Tony Tone, and we're on episode 17 now of Snerbidge, the PoTcast. God, it's been a while, man. I haven't been on in like over a month. Lots of stuff has happened in the last month, over the month, and everything. And so, but I'm back. I'm here. I didn't go anywhere. I've just been, first of all, I've been broke, so I haven't really been able to buy a lot of Snerbidge. But I'm back. I got a little bit of something. If you've never listened to this PoTcast before, my name's Tony Tone. This is Snerbidge, the PoTcast, and Snerbidge is just a word that somebody in my life used when it came to weed, and I was like, I bet you nobody online's using that fucking word for their podcast, so here I am, Snerbidge, the PoTcast. But yeah, we smoke pot and talk about the shit. It's great. Good stuff. I've had a guest on or two and stuff. And I want to apologize right now just because I didn't do a 420 episode. And honestly, if you are kind of hurt by the fact that I didn't do a 420 episode, here's a little secret. I actually did do a 420, something for 420, but it encompassed all of my time. So I was not able to do one of these in time for 420. But happy late 420. It's like almost 520 right now. But no, I actually I do a game show online that's really fun, and it's very sporadic these days. But it's called Silver Screen Showdown, and it's on YouTube. And yeah, type in Silver Screen Showdown and you'll find it. But for the last 2 years on 420, we've done, and it's movie questions. Movie trivia questions. And I created it back in like 2016. 2017, we did our first season, which we actually had like a studio and we actually like had, contestants come on, and it was a game show. And it was fun. It was all general movie knowledge and everything. And then we had a season 2 in 2018, and that was like special episodes where it was like all Back to the Future episode, all Batman episode, all Indiana Jones episode. And those were really, really fun. And I really kind of enjoyed doing those better than the general movie questions ones, but whatever. But one of the episodes that we did in season 2 was the all stoner films episode. And I had so much fucking fun writing it, doing it and everything. So the last two this was our third stoner films episode, and they're super hilarious. I highly recommend checking them out. Silver Screen Showdown on YouTube. It's fucking great. Go check out the 420 episodes. They're hilarious. I mean, all the episodes are great. The big, like the drunk and the drunk on, what was it? The drunk on White Russians Lebowski episode live at Dude Fest was pretty fun. But yeah, go check it out. And hey, you'll actually be able to see my lovely face. But so yeah, I didn't do a Snerbidge podcast for 420, but I did do Silver Screen Showdown, the third volume of our stoner films episodes, and it was hilarious and great. Go check it out on YouTube. Thanks to Young Stone for the intro and outro music. I'm still waiting for artists to get a hold of me and say, hey, I want you to plug some of my stuff on your show that only 2 people listen to. So still waiting, but I'm all about plugging artists and stuff. But yeah, and I don't know, man. First of all, we need to smoke because I haven't smoked yet. But this stuff is called Properly Sized Nipples OG. Properly Sized Nipples OG. And yeah, I can't really say much else. I got to put my phone on like never lock here so I can actually just read my notes here and stuff. So yeah, Properly Sized Nipples OG. Here we go. We're going to check it out. That's good. Tastes like weed. That's good. So, one of the reasons why, I'll get to that later. I was going to talk to you guys about a couple things. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that now. One of the reasons why I've taken some time off is because my wife actually had a hysterectomy. They didn't take her ovaries; they just took her uterus out and everything. And so I've been, helping out a lot more and taking care of her and such and everything. She's actually a rock star. She's doing really good on the mend, so good for her. But yeah, they took her uterus out, gave her the hysterectomy. That means that I can reverse my vasectomy now. I keep saying that, and people are like, why? And I'm like, because when Jessica Alba comes back, I need to be working with a fully loaded live ammunition clip, My wife, she calls Jessica Alba my hall pass. I'm like, no, bitch, you're my hall pass. I'm just with you until Jessica Alba comes back. Or until I decide to go back to her, But no, dude. I'm super proud of my wife. We have 4 kids, and she's a rock star. But, yeah, I would never reverse my vasectomy. And you want to know what? I'm going to put this baby to bed right now, because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about vasectomies. And if you've never gotten a vasectomy and you're thinking about getting a vasectomy, listen up, because I'm going to tell you about the greatest decision I ever made, and that was to get a vasectomy. And like, dude, a lot of guys are like, oh my God, do they chop your balls off? Do they chop your dick off? Is your sex drive fucking gone? It's like, no, I still have the sex drive of Pepe Le Pew, just minus the whole like sexual assault aspect of it. But I still have a sex drive. You still come. It's still white. It still looks, smells. I don't know about taste. I've never tasted my own brand, but it's the same thing. It just doesn't have little dudes swimming in it, But you don't lose. I didn't lose my sex drive or anything like that. They don't chop your balls off. They literally make an incision like right underneath of your balls, and they go in and they cut the fucking thing. It's called a vase. They cut the vase that takes your boys to your takes them around. Then they cauterize it, and that's pretty much the procedure. If you are planning on getting a vasectomy, go under. They will give you the option of having a local or general anesthesia. Go with general. I did a local. My dad was even like, you're a fucking braver guy than I am. And dude, see, ever since I was a kid, I'm going to have a hit of this Properly Sized Nipple OG. I had really bad ingrown toenails when I was a kid. And I'm guessing the lesson out of that is, like, I need more. I'm a big guy. I'm tall. I need more of the stuff that numbs you up than most people do. I found that out with ingrown toenails when I was 14. They had to stick one of my toes 12 times in one session just to numb it up properly to dig that fucking thing out of there. So when I went in there and he only put half that fucking needle in for my vasectomy, I was like, dude, you need to put that whole needle in. And he was like, oh, no, dude, I've done guys bigger than you and stuff. And I was just like, oh, dude, okay, but I'm not okay with this. And I tell you what, man, everything was fine until he hit that vase. And oh my God, dude, it was like somebody, like 1,000 people came and kicked me in the balls at once. Like immediately, if you ever been kicked in the balls, guys, you'll know, like, if you get kicked in the balls hard enough, you sweat, you can't fucking breathe. You almost, you feel like you're going to throw up sometimes, like all of those things. Anything you've ever felt when you got kicked in the balls, it all came rushing at me 1,000 times. And the guy's like, you need to settle down. Like, you need to put that whole fucking needle in me right now. And then he finally did, and everything was hunky-dory. Dumbass, fucking listen to me. Properly Sized Nipple OG. But yeah, and your balls swell, like mine, like probably to the size of like tennis balls, dude. Got to wear like a jock strap, not with a cup, but just like the jock strap part of it. Got to wear one of those to kind of keep them nice and held up there. And I was out for about 2 weeks, man. But before you have a vasectomy, you know, you got to be careful where you're dumping your clip, you know? Like, you got to be careful, you know? Unless you're a Catholic, then it doesn't matter. But once you finally have a vasectomy, you don't have to be careful anymore, man. You're like Mr. Burns standing at the window of Springfield going, excellent. Release my hounds. Anywhere I want to. You know, it's great, dude. And when I got my vasectomy, my buddies were like, they got vasectomies too. No, we didn't do it all together or anything like that. We didn't go in there holding hands or, you know, anything. But no, I got my vasectomy and my buddies were like, dude, I don't want any kids anymore. I got enough fucking kids. Let's talk about vasectomies. And I said, okay. Well, I talked them into it. I told them, you know, go under. don't do a local. But my buddy Adam, who was on the show some time ago, he calls me up after he got his vasectomy. Hold on. He calls me up and he goes, dude, when you got done, did they have you like come back in like a month or two later and bring your specimen in? And I was like, yeah, you got to go in and you got to give them a sample of what's coming out now. And they have to make sure that your boys aren't swimming anymore, you know? And he was like, okay. I was like, did something happen? He was like, yeah. I was like, what? And he goes, well, you know, I brought in the receptacle and I brought it up to them and they told me that there wasn't enough in there. It's like, what do you say to something like that? I'm like, that's when your inner Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother comes out and you say, challenge accepted. You take that thing home and you take a couple days and you fill that fucker to the brim, man. Come in there with no lid, just spilling it all over the place. Here you go, fuckers. Is this enough? It's like getting some on them and everything. Oops. But yeah, dude. So yeah, guys who are looking at getting vasectomies, go under, make sure you have about 2 weeks off of work and, you know, but after that, dude, oh, it's so fucking sweet. Like, you know, I'm with my wife, so I don't have to worry about sexually transmitted diseases or anything like that, you know, but I don't have to wrap my fucking dick. I don't have to pull out anymore. Like, it's fucking amazing, dude. It's amazing. So yeah, I love it. I love my vasectomy. I wish that vasectomies and hysterectomies were easier for people to get, because there are people out there that for one reason or the other don't want to have kids. And I just think it's crap that, you know, that you can't go in, especially, you know, somebody who's like, you know, 24 and they've had 4 or 5 kids and shit like that. And they're just like, I want a hysterectomy or I want a vasectomy or something like that. And they're like, oh, you're still pretty young. And I got fed that crap by my doctor when I told him about it. I was like, hey, I really want a vasectomy. He's like, oh, you're only 24, man. You know, that's pretty young. And I was like, bro, I have 4 kids and the last 2 came at the same time. And he's like, oh, okay. Is Thursday okay? You know, like, so yeah, man, it's, you know, I'm not saying like use it for birth control or anything, but a lot of these procedures these days can be reversed if you want to have kids later. And let's, you know, population control, dude. Population control. That's all I have to say. Properly sized nipples. I'm just going to say this. Spotlight on an artist. My wife and I were driving around. I might have fucking said this on one of my previous shows, but I don't think so. We were driving around and she likes Pandora because of the fact that, you know, she'll type in like Dave Matthews Band radio, and it's not only Dave Matthews Band. They give you a lot of stuff that is kind of like that, and you find new music, and that's what we all really want. We all just want to hear some new music that fucking intrigues our soul and grips our heart and makes our brains work. And all of a sudden this song comes on one day when we're in the car. And one thing I like about Pandora is that, like we're sitting there listening to, what was it? It was Les Claypool radio. Les Claypool from Primus. Fucking weirdo, dude. Pretty much our generation's Frank Zappa, just less political. But Claypool. And Claypool is you can't even describe the music. Rock jam, fucking hillbilly flop weirdness. But it's playing some Primus stuff and everything. All of a sudden it plays like Pink Floyd Echoes, and it's like, dude, that's not. I love Pink Floyd and I love Echoes, but that is not what I want to hear on the Les Claypool station. So you can thumbs down it. And then they won't play stuff like that anymore on that station, which is great. You can kind of like tune your stations to exactly what you like. That's why I like Pandora. Pandora, please pay me money. But so she's hopping around on some of her stations. My wife actually listens to a fair amount of like indie pop. Like I'll hear some of her stuff on the radio, but what's weird is like she finds this stuff like months before it even comes out, and then all of a sudden it hits big. Like my wife's a fucking savant in many ways, man. I need to put some more of this in here. Stuff kind of burns a little quick, but it tastes good. And for me, it burns good. It doesn't burn too quick. I didn't put a lot in the bowl, but no, this stuff tastes good and it looks good and it smells good. It's got a good aftertaste to it. And that's like a big thing. Cause some weed, like I had this purple stuff and yeah, it tasted like grape and stuff like that. But like the aftertaste was it was too harsh and burny for me. But this is good. Anyways, this song called Purple Hat comes on. Purple Hat. And it's from the band Sophi Tucker. They got a couple other songs out there and stuff. And they're kind of like almost like a Chemical Brothers, God damn it, Daft Punk, but like club partiers. Like if a couple fucking, like ravers got on stage and started doing weird shit. Like that's what Sophi Tucker is. But Purple Hat, it sounds so fucking weird when you first get into it, man. Purple hat, cheetah print, dancing on the people. But it like they really string it along really well, and it was a very well crafted song. And I always like a good guitar. I love a good guitar, and you have a good looking girl playing a guitar. However, I mean, listen to Sophi Tucker, Purple Hat. It's an amazing fucking song. It's really fun. You just want to have fun and dance or something. It's really fun. The video is fun too. But dude, like this girl's playing a flying V. Okay, it's a guitar type. You can imagine what shape it's in. And I'm watching her play this thing, and I mean, these guys. I mean, there's thousands of people at this show. I've been watching some of their stuff, and there's thousands upon thousands of people at their shows and stuff like that. And it's like, homie, like you're using the like the lower brand version of that guitar. Like she's using an Epiphone Flying G, which is a knockoff of the Gibson Flying G, or sorry, Flying V, Flying V. She's using an Epiphone Flying V when it's like for like $1,000 more, you could have bought yourself a Gibson, and that is so much better of a guitar. I don't know. Maybe it was given to her by somebody. Maybe it's fucking signed by Elvis. I don't fucking know. But I was just kind of like, I don't know, dude. If you have that much money, you should get yourself a Gibson. Maybe she just likes it. I don't know. And that's her journey. I was just kind of like, that's weird. You don't see like, blues guys up there playing Squires and shit like that, really, So the Squire is the knockoff of Fender. Sorry. But yeah, so Sophi Tucker, Purple Hat. Really good fucking song. Speaking of musical instruments. So I'm disabled. I have been since January 1st, 2001, when I got into a horrific accident. Ended up, I did a lot of shit to myself. My leg, my back, my head, my face, my lung. Lots of shit happened to me in that accident. And I have complete and total nerve damage down to my left foot in the perennial nerve. So it's hard, man. It's hard for me to work. I had complete like knee construction and shit like that. Like they used cadaver ligaments and all sorts of shit. And, you know, I've been living with this for 21 years, man. And you can imagine how working in a workforce. First of all, I can't get jobs like factory jobs. I can't get fucking construction jobs or anything like that because nobody can insure me. And I've been handed that, that excuse a few times and everything, and I don't blame them. But it's been hard, man. It's been hard for me to find work in my life that is sustainable, like for my body, So yeah, I have to cater to that a lot, and that means, jumping around from job to job every couple years and stuff like that. It sucks, but it's just the way my life has gone since my accident. I've been working ever since the day I could legally work. I've been disabled, so it's been hard. So everybody has those jobs that they really wanted when they were a kid. And one job that I really, really wanted when I was a kid was a radio DJ, because my dad was a radio DJ. And he was a radio DJ for a long time, and he was very well liked, very popular in our town and in our area and stuff. And then one day he gave it all up, and he went to college and got himself an environmental biology degree or something, and he's doing very well for himself in that field. But so that was like, I grew up in radio stations, man. My mom was a radio DJ and my dad was a radio DJ, and that's how they met. If it wasn't for the radio, I wouldn't be here. And all I ever wanted to be was a DJ. But I think I have a theory that I put a curse on myself back in like 2002, it would have been 2002, I'm guessing. If it was 2003, it was very early 2003. But I was in high school in Columbia, Missouri. I might have told this one before. But driving around with my friends, smoking weed, fucking just being stupid and shit. And we were listening to college radio. And it was this kind of apprehensive fucking tweak from South Park kind of guy on the radio. It was just all shy and everything. And somebody in the car was like, it was request hour on this college radio station. So somebody was like, somebody should call him up live on the air and tell him how much he sucks. So I did, because I wanted to look cool. And I did that. And I honestly think that like a gypsy, that dude was a gypsy, and he put a curse on me that night that I will never be in radio ever. And, this is coming from a guy who snuck into Howard Stern's Private Parts, the movie. I didn't sneak into Howard Stern's actual Private Parts, but he has a movie out there called Private Parts. And I was supposed to go to Return of the Jedi in the movie theater when it was re-released back in the 90s, but I opted to go to Howard Stern's Private Parts. And so between my parents and that, and just growing up in radio, man, that's all I ever wanted to be, was a radio DJ. But I fucking cursed myself in Columbia, Missouri in 2002. And I've never been able to get a radio job. And if I have gotten a radio job, it's like, oh, you can come and run the board for basketball games. And it's like, okay. And I do it. And I've gone through those motions for years. I've probably spent 4 years working for different radio stations, running the board for them and stuff, and nobody ever takes me further than that. And if they did, it's like one day they're like, oh, hey, come in and check this out. And then they don't have me back. And I'm constantly told by people on the phone, or like I was at O'Reilly Auto Parts picking up some parts for my car, and the woman behind the counter was like, wow, you have a really nice voice for like radio. And I was like, fucking tell those fucks out there that, man. But here's the thing. There's a stipulation here. See, I told you that my father worked in radio and that he left it. Well, it never really dawned on me as to why he left it. And one of the reasons why he left it, first of all, was money. Yes, it wasn't a very big money maker. It is nowadays. But two, it was getting too corporate for him. He didn't like what radio was turning into and just all the canned shit, because these days, man, like 5 o'clock, you drive by the radio station, nobody's there. It's all pre-recorded, pre-taped. Nothing's from the heart. Nothing's from the heart anymore, man. It's just these people going through the fucking motions. It's not a fucking fun gig for them. It's not something that they throw their whole heart into. No, it's just a fucking... It's just another Friday or something like that. And back in my day, when I was listening to the radio, like DJs... Sorry, I gotta move up here. DJs were personalities. It wasn't just a nice voice. It was a personality. And you could even tell the what kind of a day the DJ was having that day just by what kind of music he played. It had personality. It had color to it and everything. And now it's very mundane or black and white, like it's, so would I really even like working there? Because I'm not a corporate guy. And, I would like to be able to play a new song on the radio and then say, I didn't like that. I remember like, dude, dad having to wake me up in the middle of the night because, some dude fell asleep on the night shift at the radio station and the fucking needle was bouncing on the record and shit. We have to go out there and wake him up and all this shit. Like, I miss those days, man. The fucking down and dirty days of radio, man. And so it's not like that anymore. And what really sucks is my dad had a friend that worked at the radio station, still does. And I could say that my dad and this guy are really good friends. When my dad comes to town, they hang out. But for some odd reason, this guy doesn't like me. Like, I must have way too much of my mom in me or something like that and not enough of my dad or something. Or maybe it's, the fact that I've been to jail a couple times or, so I don't know. But this guy does not like me. And he's been the only person at that radio station that's been consistently there this entire period of time that I've been trying to get a job there. And, everybody's like, oh, you go to a different town. I got kids. I can't just move to a different fucking town right now. Okay. I got roots right here, right now. I got to, and I'm not saying that, oh, I'm fucking this guy's fucking son, so I should get a leg up or anything like that. But no, I don't think that. But I should at least get a shot, on air shot. And this guy has always talked, oh, I have nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with it. But then all of a sudden somebody new will start running the radio station and I'll contact them and I'll say, hey, I'm very interested in being a part of your radio station. And I grew up out there. My dad was a DJ out there. He was program director out there for a little while, all that stuff. And he'll be like, they'll be very interested and they'll shoot me a couple of emails back and forth. And all of a sudden, done. Nothing. They just drop me. They just ghost my ass after that. This has happened like twice, dude. So you can't tell me that the only consistent person out there that has never really liked me that much has nothing to do with the fact that nobody out there will give me a shot on the radio. Fuck him. And what really sucks is, and I've told my dad about it. I don't expect my dad to hate the guy or anything like that, but I don't think my dad talks to him much anymore because of how shitty it is, man. Like, you have control out there. You have power out there. You could go into somebody's office and say, we need to give this guy a shot. And like, dude, I don't want to take over the goddamn radio, man. I've even told him, I was like, hey man, give me 2 hours a week. You know, give me 2 hours a week. Just give me a little show. Just give me a little show. You don't have to fucking pay me, man. You can call me an intern. You know, I don't even want to get paid to do this. I mean, I would love to get paid to do this, but I just want a shot. Just give me a 2-hour show a week, man. And I'll show you what I can do. But nobody will ever fucking do it. You know? So fuck that guy. And what really sucks is I have to fucking... He golfs. As do a lot of the people that work at the radio station these days. They're all fucking, like, frat boys, man. And these people in this town, they think that they're high league, upper league and shit like that. Upper echelon of people in this town because they're on the radio and everything. And it's just... it's just not the way it used to be. But I have to, this motherfucker comes into my bar because I bartend at a bar that's off of, like, that's next to a golf course. And we have bar specials for the golfers and shit. Oh my God. So I have to fucking see this guy. And he treats me like shit. He doesn't tip me worth a shit. I have to be at his beck and call. And he'll fucking, oh dude, this really fucking rips my ass, dude. He fucking will sit there and he'll call me Tone. Okay. And I so desperately want to look him in the eye and say, looky here, dude. Okay. There are 2 people on this planet that can call me Tone. One's my father and the other one's not fucking you. You call me sir when you're in my bar, motherfucker. I've kissed your ass for 15 fucking years, man, trying to get a job. I've kissed your ass. I'm done doing it, man. I'm done doing it. And I just am, you know, and it'll grate on me, man. It'll fucking get to me sometimes. Properly sized nipples. It'll get to me sometimes, man, and I'll fucking hit the wife up, and I'll be like, dude, I'm so sick, tired of fucking hating these people, and I'm just like, I hate these fucking people, and I hate looking at them. I hate the feelings that come up when they come in, because like that should have been my fucking job, man. Like, I have the tools, the talent, the personality, and everything that goes along with being a DJ. However, I have the tools, the talent, the personality for the perfect fucking DJ in the 70s or 80s. These days, man, especially in a small area, like, you got to kiss a lot of ass in radio, and you have to play by their rules, and it's all canned, and it's just, and it's not like, you know, I should not worry about this because it's not my bag, baby. It's not the fucking same thing that I grew up watching. But still doesn't take away the fact that I really want to do it. And it really sucks that I'm not financially able to, nor am I just in a big enough area to where I have any options, you know. And there's another radio station in town, and I've applied and applied and applied, and I've put in tapes and made commercials. I even, like, you know, they'll say, put together this, put together that, and I'll put together everything they want, and then some. You know, they said, here's a list of some stuff about a commercial. I want you to make a commercial and send it to us. And I made 2 different versions. I made like the corporate version, and then I made some like yeehaw fucking like funny commercial and stuff. So it's like, I'm not just a guy who can read something off of a piece of paper. I am that guy if you need that guy, but I'm not just that guy. So, dude, radio stations, man, especially around here. But yeah, if I could spit in the face of somebody, it would be that DJ that's been out there since my dad was out there, who claims to be my father's friend. Fuck him. I'm just gonna say it. And I'm gonna tell you guys this. I'm gonna tell you this, okay? I'm gonna get real with you here. This motherfucker, not once, not twice, but 3 times, probably more than that, because I don't listen to the radio anymore. But 3 times, I have heard him on the radio come on and say, "This is Sublime's Santeria." There's a band out there called Sublime, and they have a song out there called Santeria. It's 4. Okay. It's the 4th fucking word in the song. I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. Yeah. It's the 4th fucking word in the song. And this guy has fucked it up 3 times, which means a couple different things to me. First of all, you've never heard of this fucking song. Second of all, you don't give a shit. And third of all, you're terrible at your fucking job. You know, that's like, going up there and being like, "Oh, and this is Celine Dion with My Heart Will Go On." What? Like, you're a professional music player, motherfucker. Are the commercials just fucked with you enough, so much to where the music aspect is gone? Jesus, dude. So that's like my local dream job. If you want to get technical, my dream is to write and or direct something that gets me a phone call from Comic-Con saying, "We want you to have a panel at San Diego Comic-Con." Like, that is my dream. If that happened, I would love it. Like, that would be my dream come true. But so the other day, I'm a guitar player, and I have this old Gibson SG that I've been kind of restoring. Got some water damage. And it needs some TLC, and so I've been slowly kind of ripping it apart and cleaning stuff and replacing stuff when need be, and the other day I kind of put the finishing touches on a part of it, and I just looked at the wife and I was like, "God, it'd be really cool if I could just do this for a living." I really like tearing these things apart and working on them and stuff, and I even posted it on Facebook about it and shit. But the next day, I open up my email, and here's an email from our local music store saying there's 2 locations, so they kind of try to be corporate about it and shit. But if you've bought something there, they get your email, and then you're on their email list. And so they sent me this email saying, "Hey, we're hiring for sales associates and luthiers," which is guitar techs pretty much. And I was just like, "Holy shit, this is amazing." And yeah, so it just kind of like dropped in like at the very moment that I really kind of needed it to, and it really kind of put some pep in my step. And I fill out the app and send them kind of a cover letter and with some references and stuff, and hoping for the best. And I went down there and I talked to the guy, and here's the deal, man. See, I live in a small town area, and 30,000 people, but then you have these little communities out there of 5,000, 4,000, 6,000, and so technically, in our little area, there's probably like 50,000 people. But it's like, there's a lot of nepotism around. And if you don't know what nepotism is, that's like favoritism when it comes to hiring and stuff like that. Favoritism in anything, nepotism. So there was a music store here once upon a time, and there was this guy that worked there who's a guitar player around, and he's been a guitar player around, and he's kind of a douchebag. I mean, I've played with him. I used to go to the guitar store all the time, and he was just kind of a douchebag, kind of snotty, nose up in the air. "I'm better than you," and and he's an amazing guitar player, phenomenal guitar player, but he's got a fucking ego on him that sucks. Yeah, but very fake too. very fake to your face. But I've said it on this podcast before. I'm a weird person, man, and not a lot of people vibe with me. Hence the reason I have like 3 listeners. But I don't know. So that dude worked there and we played around together, and he knows that I, compared to him, suck. I'm a good rhythm guitar player, but I'm not, like Jack Black says, I'm not a noodler. I mean, I can sound okay, soloing and stuff, but I don't have the gift, or at least I haven't developed my gift yet. I'm a good rhythm guitar player, and I can make myself sound really fucking good. Doesn't mean I am though. But that's what you call a bad strike. But in bowling, you're good, but it's not that good. But so I went into the guitar store yesterday, the one that's hiring, different one than that dude worked at, and there's his little brother. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt, walked up there, and I was like, hey, talked to him a little bit and stuff, and same vibe I got from his brother, dude. They think that it's, I don't know, man. I just don't get people, and I'm just really sick of feeling like a big fish in a small pond, but then second guessing myself and wondering, are you really that big though? Maybe you have an inflated sense of self-worth or self-value. I don't know. I make people laugh when I do my stand-up. I love doing stand-up. I make people laugh. And I've had over 30 or 40 different people on Silver Screen Showdown. That's awesome. So I have peeps, but I'm just not very good at making friends, especially with guys. Because I don't know, maybe they are intimidated by me because of my size and my personality, plus the fact that I'm strikingly handsome. See, it's comments like that, Tony. But no, dude, I just want to find a fucking job that I would love to walk into. I mean, I don't mind going to the bowling alley and working at the bowling alley and stuff, but like to walk in to a radio station, I just feel like I would bring so much more to it than the people that have been conditioned, and the people that have their broadcasting degrees or their communications degrees and stuff like that. And, like, I'm from the school of hard knocks, motherfucker, where my dad has to race out to the fucking, to the radio station because one of his buddies is drunk on the air and shit like that, dude. From the school, the old school, motherfucker. I might have been a kid, but it shaped me, man. And there goes the last DJ who plays what he wants to play and says what he wants to say. Tom Petty. And, or I would love to walk into the keys jingle at the front door of this business, and I unlock it for the day, and I open it, and I turn the open sign on, and I walk in, and there's 1,000 beautiful guitars staring at me in the face. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to go and dust every single one of these guitars? With fucking pleasure. You want me to go and take serial numbers down? Fuck it. You want me to go do inventory? You want me to set out some new stuff? You want me to read a fucking magazine that tells me all the specs about some new product that's coming in? I'm fucking there, dude. I'm down. But there's just something about me that people with money don't really like. I don't know, man. I'm just going to continue to smoke my Properly Sized Nipples OG and talk fucking blindly here for a little bit because I still have like half a bowl here, and I'm done with my checklist. But yeah, man, no, things have been going okay. Just my kids are doing great. They're smarter than I ever was at their ages, and they're respectful, and they don't get in trouble at school, and they're just good kids, and I'm just so happy for that. And they have some of my weirdness, but I think my wife's genes in there balance them out a little bit more. Like, I really think that I was just kind of a fluke out there because everybody else seems to know their place and find their place in the world. And I've just been struggling along, man. And I have places I want to go, but I can't do it, I either can't do it because of my physical location, or I can't do it because no one will give me a fucking shot. But another one of my dreams that is actually attainable someday, as long as I had the money and the vehicle to do it, ouch, is I just want to take like 2 weeks during like deep, like fucking stand-up comedy season, or maybe the off season, I don't know. But I want to take 2 weeks, and I want to go to New York City. And I just want to, every single night, hit as many fucking comedy clubs as I can and do as much stand-up in front of New York fucking crowds as I can. Because I've been doing stand-up to fucking small crowds my entire time, and that's one of my bucket wishes, man, is 2 weeks. I want to go out, and I want to fucking do stand-up in New York City. And if I could boot off the stage, and it wasn't meant to be, but I don't think I'm going to get booed off the stage. I think I'm going to do good. I'm not saying that, somebody's going to be there and fucking make me a star or anything. I don't even want to be a star, dude. I just want something that pays the bills that I enjoy doing. I don't need to be a star. My kids have said to me, Dad, you should be an actor. I don't want to be an actor. Like, I there's not 1 inch of me. Like, it'd be cool to, like, have a, like, like, if I was big enough to where it was just kind of like, oh, do you want to be in the next, you want to have like just like a little, like, in the background fucking extra, I'm in a Batman movie, like, sure, dude. I honestly think that like one of the coolest resumes in Hollywood is Bill Paxton and Lance Hendrickson's fucking resumes. And even if you don't know who they are, look them up. But their resumes have both been killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien on screen. You don't have to be a star to get fucking murdered by one of those fucks. And that'd be something awesome. Like, I have been killed by a Predator, a Terminator, and an alien on screen. Like, nice. So yeah, dude, like, I don't even want to be a fucking, like, huge star or anything, dude. I just want to make enough money to be comfortable. To where if something goes wrong, I can pay for it. If my car breaks down, I can pay for it. If my kids need this, if my kids need new clothes, I can just go out there and get them new clothes right now. I mean, not even new clothes. Go to fucking Goodwill. I don't give a shit. But I can go and get them clothes. Because sometimes, man, it's hard, dude. It's fucking hard. That's why I'm trying to get another job. And like, if I got this music store job, dude, oh, it'd be so cool because they close at like 5 or 6. And that's when I come on at the bowling alley. So it's like, it wouldn't even take away from my hours at the bowling alley. I could still bartend out there. But because of my disability, I have applied for disability. And if I end up getting that, that will bridge a lot of gaps in my like needing more money situation. Excuse me. Properly Sized Nipples OG. Well, thanks for hanging. I'm going to wrap this up. yeah, thanks Young Stone for the intro and outro music. Thanks Sheldon Starr for the for helping me out with some of the graphics for Snerbidge the podcast. Thanks for sticking around with me. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. I've been really meaning to put something out there, especially like I was really pissed off that I didn't do anything on Snerbidge the podcast for 420, but I'm giving you guys the inside scoop. You can go and check out Silver Screen Showdown and go check out Silver Screen Showdown on YouTube, and you can check out the All Stoner movies episodes. They're pretty fun. And then check me out on Twitter if you're on Twitter. We're on Twitter, and it is fucking, what is it? At Snerbidge 420, SNERBIDGE 420, at Snerbidge 420, Snerbidge the podcast. If you type in Snerbidge on Google, we're the only thing that comes up because nobody, I guess, has ever uttered that fucking word except for me. So, or my friend too, and people in my circle, because a lot of people in my circle like have called it Snerbidge because we call it Snerbidge, but so yeah, Snerbidge 420 on Facebook or on Twitter. We are on Facebook as well. Oh, that's cached anyways. Yeah, we are on Facebook as well. Snerbidge the podcast, Anchor Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts. I think we're on Apple Podcasts. There's a lot of podcasts, so there's a lot of them. So thanks. If you were here because of vasectomies, get one. If just get one, you'll love it. Just make sure they put you under for it. It's going to be a hell of a 2 weeks afterwards, but after that, dude, you're going to be fine. So, yeah, man. Thanks for joining me. It's nice getting back to you guys. Hope you had a good 420. Hope you have a happy summer. Congratulations on anybody that's graduating. There's a lot of graduates out there right now and everything. And so, yeah, man, it's going to be a good summer, hopefully. And I'm hopefully looking forward to things. So, yeah, man, hit me up. Have fun. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. It's Thursday today. So, yeah, have a good weekend this weekend and be safe as always. I'm Tony Tone, Snerbidge the podcast, episode 17. We were smoking on Properly Sized Nipples OG. Thank you for joining me. You guys have a good weekend again, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Now I've been smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. I be smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. You be smoking, she be smoking, he be smoking all day. Blowing kush, it ain't face from overseas to the USA. I got that blueberry, raspberry, and we keep that juicy fruit. If you want that 5-hour level.